Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to take things you think you know, maybe things you've seen online, and really dig into what's going on underneath.
Absolutely.
So today, we're starting with something you've definitely seen if you spend any time online. The viral meme. It's just everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Inescapable sometimes.
But here's the twist. These aren't just for laughs anymore. I mean, some of these digital trends, they're actually turning into, well, multi-million-dollar financial assets. It's kind of wild.
It really is a fascinating and sometimes confusing intersection of internet culture and decentralized finance.
Exactly. And our mission in this deep dive is to focus on one really unique example. CRO with knife, or CAW. Heard of this one?
I have indeed. It's been making some noise. So we're going to unpack what CI actually is, look at how it works, the mechanics.
And tackle the big claims being made about its potential, right? Because there are some big claims.
Definitely. But crucially, we also need to shine a really bright light on the bigger picture. The risks, the realities that come with these meme coins. We've got a lot of source material to draw from here.
Right. So this deep dive, it's for you, the listener, who's curious, who wants to cut through the hype. Maybe you've seen CAW mentioned and understand the whole story. The tech, the community, but also, the dangers. Because they are definitely there.
Let's get into it then.
Okay, so where does something like CRO with knife even come from? You'd think. Maybe just a funny picture someone found.
You might think that, but this one actually has a specific real-life origin, which is kind of unusual for a meme coin.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Yeah. So back in 2016, up in Vancouver, Canada, there was this crow, a specific crow named Canuck.
Canuck the Crow. Okay.
And he became, internet famous because he literally stole a knife from a crime scene.
Wait, seriously? Yeah. A crow stole evidence?
Apparently so. Flew off with a knife, got a lot of media attention, went viral for being this, mischievous bird. And that real-life incident, that's the actual inspiration behind the CAW meme token.
Wow. Okay, that's definitely memorable. So that leads into the coin itself. CAW launched, when was it? March 2024?
Yeah, March 2024. And it's positioned as, a decentralized, community-driven meme token. The key thing they stress about the launch was that it was fair and open. Meaning no pre-sale, so no early insiders getting cheap tokens, and no allocation set aside for the team behind it. It's meant to embody internet culture, but also they talk a lot about Omnichain innovation.
That community focus seems huge here. I've seen it described as having almost a cult status.
That's a word that comes up. Yeah, its supporters claim it has the strongest community on the Cronos blockchain.
And maybe one of the best around the meme world.
Yeah.
I've seen that phrase thrown
Exactly. They have these rallying cries like 1 billion market cap is a checkpoint, not the destination.
Pretty bold. And CRO with knife is the only option.
Yeah, very definitive language. And also, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. They even call themselves the Omnichain Kings.
Omnichain Kings. Okay, so that hints at the tech side. What makes CAW supposedly different from, 1,000 other meme tokens out there?
Right. Well, that's where the multi-chain feature and the Omnichain infrastructure comes in. This is supposedly its technical edge.
Okay, let's break that down. Omnichain, LayerZero, these terms get used a lot.
So CIW was apparently the first ever coin to bring LayerZero bridges to the Cronos chain. Think of LayerZero like a fundamental messaging layer that lets different blockchains talk to each other securely.
Okay, so bridges. Like digital highways between blockchains.
Pretty much, yeah, helping assets move. And then they partnered with Stargate Finance. Stargate uses LayerZero, and this partnership made CAW the first project on Cronos to use LayerZero's Omnichain Fungible Token standard, OFT.
OFT, got it. And what does that do?
It basically makes CIW feel like a native token on many different chains simultaneously. Over 50 LayerZero supported chains, apparently. So you don't need complex wrapping or multiple steps to move it around. It just moves.
So that allows movement across big names like Cronos, Base, Arbitrum, BNB Chain, Solana, Polygon.
Exactly, all those major ecosystems. And the benefit for users, supposedly, is flexibility. You can maybe find lower transaction fees on one chain or access specific DeFi apps on another.
Right, DeFi being decentralized finance. Like lending, borrowing, trading without a bank.
Precisely, or even try to capitalize on arbitrage price differences between chains, all without needing a centralized exchange in the middle and without being sort of locked in to just one blockchain.
So it gives the coin wings, as they say, to soar beyond limitations.
That's the narrative, yeah, giving it freedom to move.
And there's something else too, right? A burn mechanism.
Yeah, they built that in.
Yeah.
Every time CIW is transferred between these different ecosystems using the Omnichain function, 0.5% of the amount transferred is permanently burned, removed from circulation forever.
Okay, so it gradually reduces the total supply over time.
That's the idea. The sources mention that by July 2025, over 10.86 trillion CAW had already been burned this way.
10.86 trillion.
That sounds like a lot, but the total supply must be huge then.
Oh, it's enormous. Meme coins often have these massive supplies. We're talking hundreds of trillions. So 10 trillion is still a relatively small percentage, but it's designed as a constant deflationary pressure.
Okay, so we've got the origin, the community, the Omnichain tech.
Yeah.
What about actual use? Is it just a meme or is there a real utility plan? They seem ambitious.
They definitely talk a big game about moving beyond just the meme. They list several potential utility paths that are supposedly being developed.
Such as?
Things like peer-to-peer lending, where you could use CAW as a collateral, maybe on platforms like Liquify Ventures. They mentioned potentially buying tokenized stocks and ETFs via partners like Crypto.com. Okay. Stocks with CAW. Interesting.
And then there's the DeFi stuff, yield farming, where you lend crypto to earn interest, or staking, where you lock up tokens to support the network and get rewards. Platforms like WolfSwap are mentioned.
What about Web3 stuff?
Yeah, they're pushing that angle too. Getting your own unique .ciw domain name through unstoppable domains. So instead of a complex wallet address, you'd have yourname.cia for sending and receiving crypto.
Kind of like a decentralized username or website.
Exactly. Plus, because the supply is so large and the individual token value is tiny, they suggest it could be good for things like microtransactions or tipping creators online, small digital payments within communities.
Right. And is it actually available to trade widely?
It is listed on some major exchanges, yeah. Centralized ones like Crypto.com, Gate.io, Bitmart, AscendX, and also decentralized exchanges, DEXs like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, Slingshot.
And those partnerships you mentioned, Unstoppable Domains, LayerZero, Stargate, also StockTwits and CryptoWits.
Correct. Those partnerships are highlighted as key achievements, building connections in the crypto and social finance space.
Now, something else that stands out is who holds the tokens, the distribution.
Ah, yes. That's a significant point. According to the sources, Crypto.com, the big exchange, holds a very large chunk, 399 trillion CAW.
Which is how much of the total?
That's around 51% of the total supply held by one centralized entity.
51%. Wow.
Yeah. And another platform, VVS Finance, holds about 51 trillion or 6%. So a huge concentration, especially with Crypto.com.
How does the community feel about that? Seems a bit counter to the whole decentralized idea.
It's definitely a point of discussion. Some supporters actually spin it as a positive, like, oh, it's fully bagged by Crypto.com, seeing it as validation or stability.
But others must be worried.
Oh, absolutely. Others raise serious concerns about liquidity control. If one entity holds that much, what happens if they decide to sell? Or does it give them too much influence over the project? It clashes with that decentralized ethos they promote.
Yeah, that Omnichain Kings vibe feels a bit different when one king holds half the kingdom, potentially.
It's a fair point. And it makes you look again at some of those really bold promotional claims we see.
Right, like from $100 to unlimited potential, or safe and reliable investments with high monthly returns.
Exactly. And even claims about achieving up to 100% monthly returns using AI tools for smart decisions and maximize profits. Those sound, well, extremely optimistic, especially given the market realities and that kind of concentrated holding.
Let's talk about those market realities. The price performance. It's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Typical meme coin behavior, really.
Yeah.
After launching in March 2024, it did get a lot of attention. It surged over 600% at its peak in April 2024.
600%.
Yeah, reportedly hit a market cap around $100 million then, but just as quickly, it went through a very sharp correction, a big drop.
So where does it stand now? Or, well, as of late July, early August 2025, based on our sources.
At that point, the market cap was hovering around $17.8 million, much lower than the peak. Daily trading volume was about $240,000, and its rank on CoinMarketCap was somewhere around hashtag 899.
And the actual price per coin? Lots of zeros, I assume.
Lots of zeros. Around August 11th, 2025, the price was roughly $0. 0.8 zeros, 2560, so tiny fractions of a cent.
Just for context then, that all-time high back in April 2024, what was that price?
The peak was around $0.6 euros, 2025. So significantly higher than the more recent price.
And it hit an all-time low, too, around April 10th, 2024.
It did. And interestingly, the data suggested that if someone had, perfectly timed it and bought at that absolute bottom, they would have been up about 170% by late July, early August 2025.
Which really just highlights the extreme volatility, right? Massive potential gains if you're possibly lucky or early, but huge risks of loss for everyone else, like catching lightning in a bottle or getting struck by it.
That's a good analogy. It's incredibly speculative.
So if someone did want to buy CAW, despite the risks, how would they do it?
Well, as we mentioned, it's on multiple chains and various exchanges. You've got the centralized options, Crypto.com, Gate.io, Bitmart, Ascendex, or decentralized ones like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, WolfSwap, VVS Finance.
And you can buy small amounts.
Yes, some platforms like Bitget apparently let you buy as little as $5 worth.
Yeah.
Makes it accessible, which also adds to the risk for small retail investors, perhaps.
Okay, so we've covered CAW's story, tech, community, market ups and downs. Now we have to zoom out. We need to talk seriously about the wider context, the inherent dangers of meme coins generally.
Yes, this is crucial, because CAW, despite its tech claims, still fits squarely in the meme coin category. And these are fundamentally highly volatile and speculative assets, full stop.
They're driven more by hype, by social media trends, internet culture,
Than by any real underlying value or traditional utility. One source put it very bluntly. They're far more like casino chips than regulated investment.
casino chips. That's a stark comparison.
But probably an accurate one for you, the listener, to keep in mind. It frames the risk correctly.
And the volatility isn't just, gradual swings. It can be incredibly rapid. We saw that Hawk-Tua Girl coin mentioned in the sources.
Yeah, where the price reportedly rose and plummeted within hours. Not days, hours. Fortunes made and lost in an afternoon, potentially. Mostly lost.
It's dizzying. But beyond just the price swings, there are darker risks, right? Criminal activity.
Unfortunately, yes. This space is notorious for pump and dump schemes. Groups coordinate to hype a coin, drive the price up artificially.
Drawing in unsuspecting buyers chasing the gains.
Exactly. And then the original group sells off their holdings all at once, crashing the price and leaving everyone else holding worthless bags.
And this isn't just theoretical. Authorities are catching on sometimes.
They are. There was a case mentioned from October 2024 where the U.S. government charged 18 individuals and firms with market manipulation. They were allegedly using things like wash trades, basically trading back and forth with themselves to create fake volume and fake buyer interest.
Wow. And wasn't there a chilling quote from one of the defendants in that case?
Yeah, apparently one of them told undercover investigators quite openly, "We have to make the other buyers lose money in order to make a profit."
That's incredibly cynical. Just lays bare the predatory nature of some of these schemes.
It really does. It's a clear warning.
And beyond pump and dumps, what other hazards should people be aware of?
Well, there's the general lack of fundamental value we touched on. Many meme coins simply don't have real-world applications or strong development teams or any kind of long-term plan for viability.
So the hype dies down and there's nothing left underneath.
Often, yes. Then there's regulatory uncertainty. Governments are still figuring out how to handle these things, so rules can change quickly. Security risks are huge, too. Hackers target meme coin projects and holders, and liquidity issues can be a major problem.
Meaning it's hard to sell.
Exactly. If trading volume dries up, you might find you simply can't sell your tokens, even if you want to, or you can only sell them at a much lower price than you expect because there aren't enough buyers.
We should also touch on the community sentiment again. It's not all positive for CW, is it?
No, definitely not. While it has strong proponents, there are also plenty of people online dismissing it as a worthless coin, useless, or, more harshly, a shitcoin scam.
And that old saying, never catch a falling knife.
Very relevant here. Trying to buy into an asset whose price is plummeting, hoping you found the bottom, is incredibly risky. You often just get hurt.
So summing up the risk section, the advice has to be extreme caution.
Absolutely. Treat it like gambling and entertainment, not a serious investment strategy, especially if you're an inexperienced retail investor. The potential for losing everything you put in is very, very real.
Okay. So this deep dive into crow with knife, it really shows two sides of a coin, doesn't it? Pun intended, I guess.
Ha, yeah. On one side, you've got this really interesting case study, meme culture meeting, genuinely advanced blockchain tech like Omnichain functions, plus these ambitious utility plans.
But on the other side, it's undeniably part of that super speculative, super risky meme coin world.
Exactly. It exists firmly in that context with all the dangers that entails.
So the key takeaway for you, the listener, has to be understanding both aspects. Appreciate the tech, the power of online communities, maybe.
But you absolutely must be aware of the massive volatility, the frequent lack of real fundamental value, and how easily these things can be manipulated. That's critical.
It really is.
So maybe the thought to leave you with is this. We live in a world now where digital culture, memes, online hype can seemingly create new forms of value almost overnight. How do we, as, informed people, actually tell the difference?
Yeah, how do we distinguish between real innovation, something with genuine community-driven potential, and just a pure speculative gamble dressed up in tech language?
And what does the rise of things like CAW ultimately signal about where finance might be heading, and maybe, more importantly, about our own evolving relationship with risk in this digital age?
A lot to think about there. Definitely more complex than just a crow with a knife.